Hi everybody, it's Amy. Happy Friday. I'm coming to you from my sofa, which may or may not be more exciting than coming to you from my dining room. Who knows? Anyway, we have a lot to do today. Yesterday we talked about the first 6 of 36 thinking errors. Today we will cover the second 6. Again, these thinking errors are something everybody has. We are not perfect people. And although that these are primarily problematic for sex offenders, it doesn't hurt to take a look at ourselves and see if we can't find something in these thinking errors that can help the rest of us and help us improve our lives. So let's start. The first one we're going to talk about is sentimentality. Now, sentimentality, if someone has this thinking error, they may express a lot of sentiment or deep emotion about his or her family or about the elderly or about animals or babies, but they never back this up with any responsible, caring behavior. The people who they claim to love are usually the people who they hurt the most. So what's the corrective for this? Start practicing some actual caring behavior. All right. The next one is religion. How many people have we seen who claim to be very religious people, and in the end we find out they are sex offenders? Happens all too often. This person might be religiously active, but it's isolated. In other words, their religious fervor takes place in their house of worship, but not in the rest of their life. Their religious beliefs don't stop them from criminal thoughts or behaviors. Again, I am not putting down religion. I'm not saying anything about religion. What I am saying is about hiding behind it or using it as a shield falsely. So what's the corrective for this? Well, practice what you preach, so to speak, in your daily behavior. Do a moral inventory. Use your religious beliefs to take a look at your own life instead of using your religious beliefs to judge others. All right? Recognize that walking into a place of worship does not make you a good person any more than walking into a garage makes you a car. All right? The next one is concrete thinking. Now, this is someone who will look at a particular object or a detail, but they don't seem to see the big picture. They are somebody who just completely misses the point. They may argue a little detail and focus on that one thing and argue it and argue it and argue it, but they fail to see everything else. All right. This is someone who pays attention to things on the surface, but they don't look at the deeper meaning. All right, so the corrective here is to look at the big picture, not just the convenient details. Look at the overall meaning or message, not just some isolated points. All right, the next one is fragmentation. Now, if you have this thinking error, you're someone who has extreme changes in your mental state that occur in a very short period of time. If you are someone who gets very enthusiastic about something and then very quickly changes your mind, all right, you go with whatever seems good at the moment, including being able to dismiss any sentimental or religious beliefs if they don't fit with what you're doing right there in the moment. All right, so the corrective for this is to stop and check your current plans and see if they really align with your principles before you go right into them. All right, learn to weigh things out instead of just dismissing facts that are inconvenient. The next thing is uniqueness. Now, this is something I had with a lot of the inmates who I dealt with. They thought they were special or one of a kind or totally different from everybody else. And in the end, they were very predictable and very much like the other offenders. But if you think you are someone who is above the rest or that your circumstances are unique, then you would have the thinking error of uniqueness. So what's the corrective for this? Well, when you're in a group of people, see what you have in common with each other. When you point out something wrong in someone else, see if it doesn't apply to you too. Look for the similarities between you and others instead of just the differences. The last one we're going to talk about is perfectionism, which should not be confused with being a perfectionist. It's completely different. Someone who has the thinking error of perfectionism has these really high standards and expectations for everyone else, but not for themselves. In fact, they criticize other people when they fall short for things that they would never even attempt to do. In fact, they avoid doing a lot of things if they don't think that they would succeed at them completely perfectly. So what's the corrective for this? Take a look at yourself and learn why self-improvement is so important. Check out your standards and see if they are realistic, and learn to be tolerant of other people. Oh my God, we're not even halfway through these thinking errors, but we've covered 12 so far, so we're doing pretty good. Next time we will cover 6 more. And until then, please subscribe to this channel. Please share these videos if you feel that they could help someone who you know. Connect with me on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. I don't know, is there even anything else to connect on? It seems like we're all hooked up on everything. And until next time, be well.